I've worked with women who are 5, 10, 20, 30 years post their C-section who still cry about their C-section. So you're not alone if you are months or years post your C-section, and it can still bring up tears for you. When we have difficult, challenging, or traumatic experiences, those experiences live within the tissues of our bodies. Just because time has passed does not mean that the experience just also kind of goes away. You'll hear that saying that time heals all wounds. I don't personally subscribe to that because I don't think time heals all wounds. And you would be the example of that, that you can be months and years later and still feel distressed or cry or feeling upset when you think about your C-section experience. So that would be the example that shows us that time doesn't heal all wounds. And because the experiences live within the tissues of our body, the fiber of our being, it requires a somatic approach to healing. And somatic for me is movement and touch, because we have to do something physical to move something out of the tissues of our body, the fiber, how we are made up. Talk therapy can be great, and I'm a coach, so I love coaching and talking, but my work is always going to be around somatics. So it will be talk, it will be movement, and it will be touch, because I believe you need to do all three to actually move an experience out of your body. Talking only works up here for your mind, but the experience is in our body, it's below the neck. So to work on this part of the experience, to move that through our body, requires movement and touch. So that's why my work will always be around the three. So reasons that you still cry is because that experience is still living in your body. And you may think that you cry when you think about the birth, but what's actually happening is more than just your brain thinking about the birth. Your body is feeling the birth, and it feels as though it's back there. You will find that it's probably very easy for you to feel like it again, like the memories that you have that make you then cry is happening because your body can easily access that experience because it's still within the fiber of your being. It's still in your body. We also hold our birth experience in our womb, in our tummy, in our scar. So that can also be a reason why you may have a disconnect with that part of your body, whether you don't look or touch your scar. It's not only because it's a scar on your body, but all of the emotions and the feelings and the energy is also held in that area. And because your C-section was difficult, challenging, or traumatic, your brain thinks it's doing you a favor by making you avoid the area, and really it's trying to avoid those feelings. They're all stored in that part of your body. That's why it's really important that we get the opportunity to process what we've been through so that you can talk about your birth experience, think about your birth experience without it having to bring you to a point where you feel like you're breaking down, or you just avoid talking about your birth altogether because of the feelings that it brings up. Some simple ways that you can begin: if you have a trusted friend or family member or somebody that you can speak to and actually just talk about how you feel about your birth experience. There's probably a lot of you that have never really spoken about your birth experience, and I know that that's because there isn't really a forum to do that, and the way society is set up kind of makes you feel guilt and shame around feeling how you might feel about your birth, so you may not feel safe enough to talk about it. This is a safe space, a C-section healing space, but finding a safe space where you're able to actually talk about it is the first part. You can also write your birth story down and go through exactly what happened for you and how you feel about it. You may not have ever done that before either. It's a really interesting way to see what comes up for you as well. There might be parts of your birth story that maybe you didn't think bothered you anymore, but as you're writing it down, pay attention to how you feel in your body. So don't just stay always up here, into the body as well, because the body will also let you know how you truly feel about something. It will stir up, whether in your tummy or in your chest, maybe in your throat, in your pelvis, feel sensations in your body when you talk about certain parts, and that's your inner wisdom, and that's your indication of like, oh, okay, maybe I need to look into that and see where that's coming from and why I feel like that and how I can process that through so that I don't have that sting or whatever the feeling is in your body. You can begin to reconnect with your scar in your tummy. It's really important that we all do that, and it is a forever practice. I am 4 years post my last C-section, my last child, and I still do it 5 minutes every day, reconnecting with my scar. I use my reconnection oil and the ritual, which you can get details of in the description. You can put your hands on your tummy, you can do it over clothes if you want to, and just spending 5 minutes just breathing and just being with your tummy, being with your scar, seeing if anything comes up, how you feel, just starting with reconnection 5 minutes a day. So know that if you do still cry when you think about your C-section, it's not a personality flaw of yours. It is your nervous system. It is the fact that the experience still lives within tissues and the fiber of your being. And it's an indication that some things haven't been processed. Know that there is a way for you to be able to process those. You can get to a point where you can talk and think about your birth and it not have to bring you to the point of tears. Do share this with another C-section mom that may need to hear this and know some of the reasons why her birth may still bring up tears for her. Do subscribe to the channel. I really want to be able to grow this channel so that more mums can hear and learn about the perspective of C-section recovery, not just being physical, but emotional, spiritual, and energetic. Do give this video a like if you found it interesting and it was helpful to you. And I'll see you in the next one.